Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gauntlet podcast.
With Kaylani.
Crazy stuff. Today, we are doing our first ever character story, with many more to come. So,
Many more to come.
A character story is basically a significant player in the Gauntlet who, most of the time, has played amazing seasons and had a really interesting trajectory that's kind of interesting to look at. So today, we are covering the one and only Regan Glennon of New Beginnings. And Fans First Favorites, and All-Stars, and Dynamic Duos.
Woo!
So, interesting fact about Regan, she is the first person, well, not really the first person, well, yeah, the first person to record a video diary, and kind of the reason they exist. Because they were her ideas, and it was my idea to take her private little fun thing that she was doing for fun, and demand it from everyone else.
Yeah, you did demand those.
They make it so much better.
They do.
Video diary comp at the end of the season. Like, I'm telling you.
I miss the meme comps. Those were fun.
I was going to bring them back, but then I had an epiphany and didn't want to do it anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah, so meme comps got replaced with video diaries, which I feel like is honestly more insightful because you get to figure out the strategies of others.
Well, it used to be both.
And, oh, that's true. It did used to be both.
All-Star.
But now it's kind of like replaced, right?
Well, All-Stars had the diary comps and the memes. And then I think the last meme comp was after All-Stars. I didn't do one for... Well, yeah, because Mystery Island made me suicidal. Yeah. And then...
As did everything.
Y2K and Swifties, I just didn't have a lot of content to work with. I think it was mainly because I came off of Dynamic Duos. And Dynamic Duos literally got 2 compilations because it was peak.
Dynamic Duos was peak. Everybody crashing their Bugattis.
When Erin Maroney crashed her Bugatti, that was literally her meme.
That genuinely was her meme, and then it just became a meme for everybody who got voted out on the Bugatti tribe.
Because I just said, I think in the meme comment it just said Erin, and it was the girl crashing her car. This was supposed to be about Regan Glennon.
Oh yeah, this is about Regan. Well, Regan was her duo, so backtrack to Regan.
So today we are going over the rise, fall, and destruction of Regan Glennon. So how did she climb her way into being an icon? And then how did she slowly fall out of that position and eventually
perish
from notoriety? Dramatic. Okay, so Regan was one of the first people to ever play. She was in the Zoom era, but we don't cover the Zoom era.
That's private.
Yeah.
Even though we bring it up, I'm pretty sure every episode.
Season 1, which did not have open applications. This was just invites. She was on the Penis Tribe. And from there, that's where she rose. She was in a good spot. She was allied with pretty much the whole tribe. And she was a big part of why they won all the challenges, except for the scavenger hunt. Because the first challenge, which was a Gimkit homework assignment, she went through, got all the answers, and then gave her whole tribe the answers. Which, surprisingly, no one else has ever done that before. Which kind of surprised me, because that's not against the rules. So it's just like...
So she ate down.
Yeah.
She basically ate down.
She actually ate. And so the first season wasn't totally strategy-based, because it was very underdeveloped. It was a mess. But people who had allies, even no matter how short they are, rose pretty far. So that's how Regan made it all the way to the top 5. She was good friends with Jessica, and Jessica was aligned with Savannah and Chelsea. So together, they just kind of teamed up, and they made it all the way to Final 5, and they were going to vote Emily Dunham out, but Emily Dunham won individual immunity. So, the Jessica and her 2 main allies, Chelsea and Savannah, voted Regan out, and that's how her story kind of ended. I think Regan cast her vote against Savannah, but I'm not totally sure.
5th place, though. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm. It set her for good grounds, and then she returned on Fans Versus Favorites. Now, this is another interesting one because she was in a good spot yet again. She was returning as a member of the Favorites tribe. Mm-hmm. And the Favorites tribe went to the first 3 tribal councils. I remember Leo wanted to shit on me on Y2K, saying putting the fans against the favorites was unfair because they're all new against all returning. But keep in mind, the first ever time this happened, the fans won every single challenge. Mainly because they had Lisbeth on her tribe, and she
was goated during early seasons.
She ate. Yeah, she was only on 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But she ate all the challenges, so they went to every single tribal. Now, what's interesting is we had a very interesting position. So, with the favorites tribe, we had one side which was aligned, which just happened to be all the season 1 players. Mm-hmm. We had Regan Glennon, Jessica, Chelsea Amaral, and then on the other side, we had Maheen from season 2, Caitlin Cepek from season 2, and Maddie Kearns from season 2. In the middle was Kat Minnie from season 2. So, she could go either way. She was a swing vote. The votes were between Chelsea and Maheen, 3-3. Kat ended up siding with Regan's side, and they voted Maheen out first. This season, Redemption Island was in play, so Maheen went to Redemption with a chance of coming back. Afterwards, Chelsea got medically evacuated for having COVID. So that travel was canceled. Fast forward to the third one, again. So now, the sides are still... There's 5 people, and Regan's side still basically has majority, because it's her, Jessica, and Kat. And then on the other side, you have Maddie and Caitlin. Now, here's what's interesting about this tribal. So, Maddie had an idol that she was going to use, but she was talking to Caitlin, and she wanted to vote Kat out, so they just cast her vote against Kat, and the vote ended up being 2-1. Regan and Jessica voted against Maddie Kearns. Maddie played her idol, so those votes were canceled. They voted against Kat. Kat went home. Kat voted against Jessica. Ooh. So she was willing to take her out, but Kat just went home anyway. So she was sent to Redemption, and she won her duel against Maheen. So overall, Regan was just kind of in limbo right now. But then this is where she had a bit of a trip. Regan swapped onto the Vanuatu tribe, and all the ops were on this tribe. It was Maddie Kearns and Caitlin, who she already, was not aligned with them. And then the other two were Elizabeth, who challenged Beast, and she pretty much locked in with the other two. And then Jeremy, which he's, good friends with Maddie, and they're still, locked in as besties. So it was basically 4 versus 1. The next challenge was Greed. And what Greed is one person can choose to take Greed. They will gain individual immunity, but their tribe will go to Tribal Council. Maddie Kearns took Greed, and because she already established the plan, she was going to take Greed, and then everyone was going to vote Regan out. And then Megan was currently on exile because she didn't get a tribe, so she would have joined their tribe. And that's exactly what happened. That's when Regan got voted out. She was sent to Redemption Island, and she lost the duel against Kat. Kat ended up making it back in, and then she got voted out 2 days later. But that's Regan. That's Regan's story on Fans vs. Favorites. Not a very long one, but she would definitely make up for it in All-Stars, which is also the season she invented video diaries. Now, what's really impressive about her is, through her social connections, she basically survived the purging of the heroes. It was Heroes vs. Villains, the first 16 cast person. 8 versus 8. Out of the 8 immunity challenges that... no, actually it was 7, because one of them was that both tribes go to Tribal Council. But out of the 7, the heroes won 2. So they had to go to Tribal Council a lot. So basically, Regan ended up teaming up with a lot of her past allies. It was Jessica, and through there she had Delaney, and it would have been Chelsea, but Chelsea I think she was at Mask, the first Tribal Council, so Chelsea got voted out first that season.
Oh, yeah.
So at that, she only had 3 against the other 4 heroes on the tribe, which were Kat, Malia, Maddie Lorgery, and Jeremy. So Jeremy sided with Regan's side first to vote Malia out, because Malia she was a floater. She ended up becoming a queen in the later seasons, but at the time she was basically just a floater. So Malia got voted out third. But then Regan thought Maddie Lorgery was the one who voted with them.
Uh-oh.
Because Jeremy flipped back to the side at the next Tribal Council because they were going to vote Jessica out.
Uh-oh.
So it ended up tying. And Regan was getting mad at Maddie Lorgery for not voting with them, even though she never did in the first place. So it was very risky. There ended up being a deadlock tie, 2-2, on the revote. Which means Jessica and Kat, who were the 2 tie players, became safe. and the other 4 drew rocks, so it was random draw of who went home. So Regan was vulnerable, and her story could have ended right here, but Maddie Lorshri ended up going home. So she was cut. Now Regan was back in the majority, basically. Going to the next tribal council. So this was when both tribes had to go to tribal council, I believe. It was Jeremy and Kat were basically the ops against their 3. So what's interesting is the villains won an advantage. They could block one of the heroes from voting, and they blocked Jeremy. But Jeremy had an idol. So here's what happened. Everyone basically voted Jeremy out. Jeremy played his idol. So normally Jeremy's sole vote would be who goes home, and he would have voted for Jessica, but his vote was blocked, so he couldn't vote.
Yeah.
So then they just had to revote amongst themselves where Jeremy couldn't vote, but he was also immune. Jessica decided to blindside her own ally, so Regan hopped in with her and voted Delaney out instead of Kat. Because she thought Delaney was just too good and she would have won. And looking at Delaney's future, it was the right call. Yeah. And then move forward, heroes lost again. They voted Jeremy out. Regan still working with her girls. But Jeremy made jury, which is cool. He was the first member of the jury. And after it was final 8. So basically it was Regan, Jessica, and Kat. Those 3 against 7 villains.
Damn.
No, 6. 6 villains.
Damn.
The villains ended up forfeiting a challenge just because the heroes were dead. Regan was also sick at this time. There's this really funny picture of her holding something up. It's on her wiki page. You can go check it out. And so they forfeited. They were able to fast pass. Shannon got voted out. And when they merged, they created an alliance called 3 heroes and 2 villains walk into a bar. So it was originally going to be between the 3 heroes, also Megan and Shannon, but Shannon got voted out, so Colin replaced them. At the merge, Colin got idled out by Maddie Kearns, but they still held majority, so Regan was in a good spot. Kat and Malia both joined the villain side, and they flipped on Jessica. And Regan's #1 ally through the whole season basically got voted out. And now Regan was isolated, and this is where she made the most impressive play basically ever. She teamed up with Maheen.
Risky.
Maheen was basically, historically, a flop. And he kind of knew he was on the bottom of the Villains Alliance anyway. So together, they teamed up, and they were able to go on a streak of taking out Megan and Lisbeth.
Smart moves.
Through, idol plays or advantages and whatnot. At Final 4, Maddie Kearns exposed everyone, exposed Regan's lies that she's been telling her in the middle of the tribal council chat. But Regan and Maheen still made it to Final 3 because they voted Kat Minnie out. At Final 3, Regan received 1 vote to win by Jessica. It was a 5-1 sweep by Maddie Kearns because she ate that season up. Yeah. She ate it. She ate it so much that she needed Ozempic afterwards. But Regan still did very good. She was a runner-up now.
So much she needed Ozempic.
So it only seemed like there were good things for Regan in the future of the Gauntlet.
You know who else needs Ozempic? Never mind.
Jada Kim?
Yep, Jada Kim.
Alright, so there are only good things to come from Regan in the future of the Gauntlet. However, you know the title of this video. This is the rise, fall, and destruction of Regan Glennon.
Destruction time!
And her 4th and final season was Dynamic Duos. She came on with Aaron Maroney. And as you know, in this season, the duos competed against each other. Regan was on the Poussey tribe, and Aaron was on the Bugatti tribe.
Aaron crashed her Bugatti.
Aaron was the second person voted out by an 7-1 vote on that tribe.
Yeah.
So Regan was one of 2 players who did not have a duo in the game at the time. The other one was Melinda Taylor. So here's what's interesting. Regan was away from her tribe the first couple days of the season, so she didn't get to establish any strong connections. But she was still a notable player. So she was trying to catch up with the strategy when her tribe had to attend tribal. But she was going in every which way direction. She tried talking to Maheen because they were a former ally, but then she told, I believe it was Josh, that she didn't actually want to work with Maheen because it was just a one-time thing. And then that got screenshotted by somebody ended up going back to Maheen, and Maheen was like, what the fuck? And she was basically just reaching for any leverage she could have gotten. Did she talk to you at all? Because you were on that season. But you were on the other tribe.
I was on the other tribe, but I don't think we ever talked.
So, she was basically just reaching out. And Josh was your duo of that season.
Yes.
She ended up voting against Josh. That was who she thought would give her the best target, but it ended up being an 8-1 vote against her. So
yeah, because I'm pretty sure she saw, like, Josh, like, as an alliance, but also as a threat, because he started very quickly earning the likings of everybody on the tribe and everybody on the other tribe as well. He was pretty decent at the games, right?
Yeah.
He was pretty decent. He was able to keep himself afloat, so I think her idea to get him out was probably smart, but was too likable. Mm-hmm. So, was he the one that got her out? Or the idea person?
I believe he was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the idea person.
And
I remember him texting me about that.
And that was Josh's first move, which honestly, like, Josh is like, he's like top 5 Gauntlet players, like, ever. Like, he always eaten the strategy. I mean, like, he had got idled out. He probably would have won All-Stars 2, by the way, if Wesley didn't betray him at Final 5, because Isla won immunity. But that was funny, honestly.
That's another story for another character.
Wes McKenna's character story coming soon?
Question mark, question mark?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But for now, that's kind of where Regan's story lies. That's where her record stands today.
She had a rise, she had a fall, and then she had a major destruction in dynamic duos.
Mm-hmm. And you know what else had a destruction? The Twin Towers. Because we are recording this on September 11th.
I promise. It is not a joking matter. But it is slightly funny.
So, as you know, we record a lot of these ahead of time. So, it's September 11th in the Target parking lot right now. And our announcement on Instagram is coming out in 2 days. We're hoping some people are excited.
We hope some people are.
And then the first episode will be a week from now.
Woohoo! I feel like we record all of these in the Target parking lot, or at least most of them.
Mm-hmm. And it's usually at night, though. It's broad daylight right now.
Broad daylight.
We're about to go find some shoes for Kehlani, and she's about to do her orientation at the paper store.
Yoo-hoo! Second job! I'm a working woman.
Working class, let's go.
I feel like Dolly Parton. At least I'm not doing 9 to 5s, because I've got skew.
Almost, soon. Almost. Just kidding, you're going to be a rich artist of some form. I don't even want to know what you want to do for a job. Oh, you want to do, like, physiology or something, right?
Yeah, like exercise science.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll be a world-famous athletic trainer for the Patriots. Actually, the Patriots kind of suck.
Maybe you'll be like Serena.
Maybe I will be like Serena.
But she's such a queen. I
She
love
is
Serena. Serena at the Rockland High School athletic department, top 1 person, honestly, like, to
She's
ever
a queen.
live.
I like her.
Mm-hmm. And she listens to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's cool.
Alright, well, that's it for this episode. We hope to see you all next week.
Woo!
Be sure to give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Oh god, I feel like I'm on a YouTube channel.
And you know what? Comment whatever you want. What did you think about Regan Glennon? Have you ever played a season with her? Do you think she ate? Do you think there's anything she could have done differently? Let us know, because your opinions are always welcome.
No, they're not. They will be heavily criticized by me.
Okay, Kehlani's a bitch, but I'm not, so... And I run everything, so...
What? That is the biggest lie of the day.
Oh my god.
Kehlani's a bitch, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. Alright.
We're either equally bitchy or you're just as nice and sweet as me.
That's not a very high standard.
Okay. I'm definitely keeping this in the podcast. It's like when I called you a bitch over the phone when I was talking to someone on August 2nd, precisely after gang pulled up. Alright, bye everyone!